Magpie Hector, Aiden's Warrior, could they go, ooh, look at this gap here, and drive up underneath her? And I don't think she'll get that second crack at it like she did in the heat run.
Well, wasn't there excuses?
Yeah,
you speak about Emma Toy annoying her.
Yep.
She had to hook wide late. Isn't there excuses? Like, I respect the opinion of you blokes. I just can't fathom how you are so against her. I just think there was plenty of excuses last week, and clearly, if she didn't have Emma Toy loom up behind her, she's going to go far faster than what she did.
Okay, but Emma Toy's in the race, and we are assuming that he's going to get up and outpace her again. And while he's outpacing her, you've got dogs like Aiden's Warrior, Electrify. So she's not going to get outpaced by one dog through the catching pen. I think she's going to get outpaced by 3 or 4 through the catching pen. So if she reacts negatively or, you know, has to pull back and check off heels and make a second run, that next wave of dogs, Mapunga Lara, Power Squeeze, Magpie Hector and Vodka and Ice, are dogs that run a very strong 700 that you can't be giving momentum away to. So if she leads and can clear out and Amaron Toy can't get her and she gets away from Aiden's Warrior through the early stages, yes, she could dictate from the front and make us eat humble pie. But I just think there's 3 other speed factors in this race that are going to go with her, and it's not necessarily the 6-second run that she produced last week. It's more from peg through the catching pen corner and coming into the back straight, where I see a few of these other greyhounds pressuring her and harassing her and, you know, maybe bumping her and losing that momentum.
Yes.
And then that next wave of dogs I've got so much respect for. They're so proven, genuine 700 stayers that you can't cop interference, react negatively, fall back into the traffic and then pick yourself up and run past them, because as you're hustling and bustling, they're getting through their gears into the momentum. So that's why I'm against her tonight. I haven't found her in my numbers. If she wins, she wins, and she's a champ, and you should never knock a champion. And we might, we might be regretful in the way we've looked at this race, but I just think at the price, I think this race shape and race pattern is dead against her.
I think Mapunga Lara is a huge price here. I think from box 1 she could be a completely different animal. She's capable of beginning a lot better than what she showed, and keeping was in the way just as she was sort of building that forward momentum. And she's another factor that, like Nath said, if one of these gun dogs, Mapunga Lara, Power Squeeze, Magpie Hector, Electrify, if one of these greyhounds finds the rails, they're just going to get that chance to drive up underneath without a trace, and just feel that could be enough to get her beat, because a dog like Electrify finds the rails. The time that he's ran 41.33 and 41.57 with things going pear-shaped, this dog's going to be right in the finish, and there's just enough variables here that we're confident we can take on without a trace. Jace looks like he's getting very close to being ready here, and he's with the man, the legend, Greg Doyle with Electrify.
Yes, indeed. Greg, let's go for a walk. Your boy Electrify, he is the fastest dog in the race. I think everyone can agree on that. What happens from box 8, though? It looks to be a challenge.
Yeah, I've got no idea, really. He'll go pretty straight, I think. He used to crash early in his career, but I think he'll go pretty straight. He had box 7 at the Meadows a few starts ago and went pretty straight and ran a good early split. So, look, I'm hoping he does that and gets past a few of the slower beginners. And, look, he's not going to lead, but if he can get across to 2nd, 3rd, maybe 4th, and just get into a rhythm and get an uninterrupted run, hopefully he's in the finish.
Anything's possible with one like yours, mate. Good luck.
Thank you.
Greg Doyle there with Electrify. Let's keep moving around. I want to have a chat to Jack Smith over here, who's got Magpie Hector. Now, this greyhound has equal footing with Without a Trace as the best stayer in Australia at the moment. Jack, what does his draw mean? We know he's a slow beginner who wants to get wides. What sort of traffic is he going to find in getting there?
I got no idea. Just, I think the key to him is to be in front of the white, and with the other two going forward, and maybe he'll get a spot. That's the only hope I can see. He's got to beat the white to the corner.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There's Jack Smith. I want to have a chat to Nick Britton here, who's got Mapunga Lara. Now, Nick, 2 starts ago, she was ordinary, at least on face value. Last week, she was very good. What's the confidence like from the kennel, given you've got the Reds tonight?
Oh, I really don't know what to expect from her, to be honest. She jumps to the front, and then around the first corner she might end up 4th. So, you know, box 1 helps a lot. She shouldn't get into too much trouble from there, and with a clear run, she's strong as an ox.
All the best.
Thank you.
There's Nick Britton and Mapunga Lara. One last person I want to speak to is Peter Prosciutto, who's got Without a Trace by his side. Pete, yes. There's people like me who are on board. There's people like Nathan Rooney and Michael Ty who are off the bandwagon. What is your gut feel on her chances tonight?
Well, she's just going to have to prove a point tonight, I think. That's probably where we're at. Yeah, so hopefully she can prove a point.
Will she do it?
I think she can, yeah, I really do. So really we're just going to box them and see how she goes tonight.
Expect her to lead?
Yeah, well, I think she should lead like she did last week, and then it's just a matter of getting a clear run, and hopefully she gets the biscuits.
Best of luck.
Cheers.
Well, she's ready to rock without a trace. And boys, it's time for you to give the Sky Racing One audience your expectation on this race. Nathan Rooney, Michael Ty, take it away.
Thanks, Jace. Yeah, Peter Prosciutto brimming with confidence there without a trace. Myself and Nathan Rooney don't have without a trace in our top four. We are taking her on tonight. Just the flat spot she hit last week. Yes, Amron Toy was annoying her, but it's just didn't seem to be at her complete best. I think Mapungalara has actually been disrespected here throughout the week. I think she's a star. She failed to flatter here in a race where there was cold and winding and raining, but last start she had no luck. Care keeping drove her mad everywhere she went. She had no luck from box 8. Box 1, she can begin a lot better than the market anticipates. I think she can go real close to leading this. If she found a soft lead, she'll run this distance out all day. And I think Electrify is probably the #1 ticket holder I am. Electrify. I love this dog. Just from box 8, I just can't. I'm struggling to come up with where he's going to map and when will he find the rails safely and be able to kick into gear and explode. Will it be too late? There's just more questions than answers with off box 8. So I'm going with Mapungalara on top each way all day, 1, 8, 3 and 4. And my numbers, Nath?
Yeah, I stuck with Electrify. I just think he might be able to settle 3rd or 4th early and whip around the outside, and then it's a matter of making the right decision going through the catching pen after a few hundred metres. If you can make the right decision and get a clear and unimpeded run, we certainly know the ability this greyhound's got. So he's had a few box draws that are favourable and he hasn't been able to make the most of them in big races. Now he gets an unsuitable box draw and I'm just hoping he might have a bit of luck on his side. Number 5, Aiden's Warrior, has been a grand old campaigner. He showed what he's capable of last week. He's got brilliant mid-race pace, and if he can sit on him and pick the right run, another one through the catching pen might be able to put a bit of a gap in his rivals. 3, Power Squeeze was the eye catcher from last week. We've seen the Clover Park Racing Group and Jason Thompson last race with Secret Bandit with the same sort of preparation win. They're going to try to do the same here in the Sandown Cup with Power Squeeze. And number 4, Magpie Hector, is a drill Group 1 winner and a greyhound that just finds a way. So it's a really hot race. I've gone against without a tracing. She just might get pressured in the early stages. I've gone 8, 5, 3 and 4 in the 2026 Sandown Cup.
What a brilliant addition this is. Just a wide open betting race. Power Squeeze is now into favourite at $4 here on Tab Fix. A late move just without a trace out to $4.20. My top selection, Mapungalara, $9.50. I just think that's a fantastic price. And Electrify, a bit friendless late in betting. As we said, we're just having difficulty on where he maps. How long will it take for him to find the rails? What a super edition of this race it is. It's the most prestigious Australian staying race on the calendar. It's the 2026 edition of the Sandown Cup with our caller, Dan Hibbard.
Power Squeeze was electric in his performance, making up many lengths to run second into Electrify. Magpie Hector ran 3rd to Electrify in the heats. Aiden's Warrior won his heat. He drew the red. He had all the favours from that draw. He never really got touched last week in 41.59. Amron Toy, when he was right up on the outsider without a trace and was always pinched his way, pinched the win, I should say, in the heat, but he got grabbed late. He ran 3rd. Vodka and Ice ran 2nd, Aiden's Warrior. Drew Barrett, box 2, was able to follow the winner in that heat very easily and beat the others comfortably. And Electrify, well, he was absolutely brilliant. 41.57 from box 3, but he gets the pink tonight, which makes it a little bit sticky, but it would be a big win if he's able to win from the outside draw. And the local Greg Doyle from Mulgrave with Electrify in the Cup final. But it is wide open. $4 Power Squeeze is the favourite. Without a trace is out to $4.60. $5 for Magpie Hector. The 6 of them that are under double figures, there's not much separating them. And the outsiders are the 6 and the 7. The Sportsbet Sandown Cup final for 2026. 4 times won by Boltreese. And we set to write another page in the history of this race. The Sandown Cup final, they're set to run. Ready. And away, beginning quickly was Without a Trace. She'll drive through and she'll lead Aiden's Warrior early, and Amron Toy's up nice and handy to the first corner. Mapungalara the inside, then came Magpie Hector, well backed into Electrify, about 7 off the lead. Well, next in the field was Mapungalara, Power Squeeze, and Vodka and Ice. Reaching the lead was Aiden's Warrior. Without a Trace got shuffled all the way back, and it's Aiden's Warrior in front of Amron Toy. They're 4 lengths in front then of Electrify, trying to run on rather Mapungalara. Electrify, then came Magpie Hector. Further back in the field then to Power Squeeze, but it's Aiden's Warrior in front, going really well. Aiden's Warrior's home. Aiden's Warrior won the Sandown Cup, beat Magpie Hector and Electrify. Power Squeeze was next from Vodka and Ice, then Amron Toy, Mapungalara, and Without a Trace has run at the rear. 41 and 59 the time. Aiden's Warrior for...
Aiden's Warrior by name, a warrior by nature. A well-deserved Group 1 win, and this time it is the most prestigious staying race on the calendar, and he's done it in faultless fashion. Holly Thompson, firstly to you, this boy, he wants me to... Luke, this must be your bloke.
Yeah, had the handling job tonight. He's just absolutely well named. He's just been a warrior his whole career. He's been in these Group 1s for last 12 months at least, and he just hasn't had the luck. And tonight he jumped well, put himself up there, just got underneath Without a Trace at the right time. And that was just a well-deserved Group 1. He thoroughly deserved that. And my head was with Power Squeeze, but my heart was with him. And yeah, just super proud for him.
And again, it's been a big night for your camp. You teamed up with the Lords and Secret Bandit and the Sapphire Crown. And again, here with Aiden's Warrior, I mean, you must be really excited to team up with one of Australia's biggest and most successful operators, and now you've got 2 Group 1s on a big night.
100%. Like, all the credit has to go to them. We've bought 6 dogs in these Group 1s, and 5 of them were on their behalf. So we're just incredibly lucky to be able to team up with them and have that partnership. You know, be able to send dogs up their way, and they send dogs back to us. Super proud for them, and unbelievable effort by the team.
Does he go straight to Queensland?
More than likely, yeah. These 2 will probably go to Queensland for the bigger races there. He's over 4 years old now, and he's racing as good as ever. So it was just so pleasing for him to go Group 1. He's probably not got much time left, but to get that on his CV, just wrapped for him.
And from memory, your kennel hasn't won a Sandown Cup. Am I right in saying that?
We got one, I think it was about 10 or 15 years ago with Next Top Model. Going back a few years. I think the other races we've been able to win maybe 2 or 3 of them, but to get another Sandown Cup, it's an incredible night to have 3 Group 1s and to be able to win 2 of them tonight. Just all the hard work paying off.
Well, he's a star, mate, and congratulations to everyone involved.
No, thanks, Chase. Thank you very much.
Luke Thompson there, guys, after Aiden's Warrior becomes the Sandown Cup winner for 2026.
He did, and great interview there. Luke Thompson's always very good to listen to there. Always a great insight from Luke. And Aiden's Warrior, just began a bit better than anticipated. He found the rail, Nathan. We know that the mid-race acceleration that he shows is something you've always mentioned. And then with the fitness he's got, he was just able to extend late. A brilliant win.
Yeah, he raced well last week. He was able to dictate off the front and run 41.59. Tonight he was able to get across them inside dogs, which was a key factor, as Without a Trace took the lead and drifts middle of the track, and he ran 41.59 again. So he is a warrior, as Luke touched on, but he's ever consistent, and it's another one of the Clover Park racing down to Jason Thompson. This is most probably his maybe 3rd or 4th trip down, and it just happens so seamlessly with this dog. He goes back and he just gets the job done, and he deserved a big race. He'd been luckless through the early part of the year at the Meadows. I kept backing up week in, week out through the Top Gun Series and the Australian Cup Series. Just going, he's close, he's going well, and he couldn't nail it. But I had him in for second tonight, Mick, and once he was able to get under and show that customary brilliance and get away from the chasing pack, he's a hard dog to pick up, and he was a much-deserved winner and a really warrior, start number 69 tonight. He's got, 470,000 next to his name. He's been a really good star and a thoroughly deserved winner. Runner-up Magpie Hector, he just keeps finding a way to finishing on the podium in these big races. He put himself into a position and whacked away at one pace quite well. 3rd was number 8, Electrified. He got around most probably a little bit further behind after the first, couple of 100 metres than Connections would have hoped for, but he ran an honest race off a wide draw. And then in for 4th was number 3, Power Squeeze, who's a greyhound. that we talked about pre-race. It only had 12 starts, and the more racing and time and maturity that this dog gets under his belt, the better he will be. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in 12 months back here on the same stage. He's having start number 13 tonight, and he's only just gone 2 years of age.
And unbelievably started favourite on Tab Fixed Odds, which is incredible. The late move there was for him late in a Group 1 race like that.
Yeah, so he was given 55 starts and 2 years of racing experience away to the winner, Aiden's Warrior. So you just think in 12 months' time, this preparation away from New South Wales, away from Andy Lords to Jason Thompson will help build the dog. He'll go to Queensland by the sounds of it now, and that'll be another string to his bow. And you just think the next 6 to 12 to 18 months of racing with Power Squeeze will really bring out the best with him. Once he gets, 25 to 30 starts under his belt, he's going to be a star of the future. But nonetheless, full credit goes to Aiden's Warrior tonight, a really deserved Group 1 winner of the Sandown Cup.
Yeah, and that the satellite arrangement between the Lord and Thompson kennels in full effect there to perfection. And even with Power Squeeze as well, it'll be better for that run for later in the year in these big staying races. Of the beaten brigade there, without a trace, Amaron Toy just got her again, and she reacted negatively to that, and understandably so. One of those races I'm probably going to need to watch a few times. I thought Mapunga Lara was there, and all of a sudden she lost her spot, and yeah, it's probably a race I'm going to need to review a few times.
Yeah, On Speed was a place to be, wasn't it? And to begin well and get across them inside dogs was a key factor in the run for the first 100 metres. Without a Trace was always going to show the initial speed and move up the track, and we knew Amaron Toy was going to show that. Section through the middle section to get out after the likely leader and Without a Trace. And while that was happening, Aiden's Warrior was glued up against the paint in that striking position to unleash that mid-race speed that he's got. And that mid-race speed is most probably superior of anybody in this race, and that's where he won the race, by getting close enough and hard up against the rail at the post the first time to put that gap in the field while there was a bit of argy-bargy behind, and then that was the winning move. So a well-deserved winner, Aiden's Warrior.
That it was almost like Without a Trace had a magnet on her, which was attracted to Amaron Toy. Bang.
It was the same as last week, Jason, except there was other dogs.
Like white dogs.
Except there was other dogs in the race that could take advantage of it, where last week they were strung out enough that she was able to balance back up, hook around and finish over the top. So the race shape and race pattern didn't look great from where I looked at it, and it most probably worked out that way. It just a little bit of an unlucky and forgive run. You kind of just park that to the side and hope she pulls up all right and pushes on to Queensland going forward.
And we'll have to see it again, as you suggested, Duck. But I mean, for the promise of which Electrify has shown for a long period of time, and the challenge that was served up in front of him tonight, it's got to be a good result to finish on the podium.
Absolutely, yeah. Greg would be thrilled with that run. Yeah, this was his chance of that Group 1 dream, sure, but he's only going to keep getting better and better, and the depth of stayers is there, but it's also very even. The greyhound can just be the best dog performing on the night. I think Greg will get that situation. What I like about Electrify now too is he made that brave decision a bit earlier in his career to send it up to Tom Savalas, I believe, up at the queue. So he's had those couple of starts there. Doesn't need to trial there now. He's had that run on the track, because they need to actually have a trial before they race there. So he's eliminated that now. All of a sudden he can cherry pick these races a little bit more. He's got to have his day. Myself and Nathan are huge supporters of the dog, and he's ran a gutsy race there tonight, but just off box 8, he really was cruelled by the draw.
Well, that trip away's brought him on, and you've seen, the likes of Aiden's Warrior and Secret Bandit, and them trips away and that time away really matures them and brings them on, and I think that has happened with Electrify since he's come back. It'll be now interesting now he goes back up there, if he really grows another leg, and he just... If you look at the replay and break it down in hindsight, if he drew closer to the fence and got the Aiden's Warrior run, we're most probably talking a different winner. But nonetheless, you've got to take your chances. You've got to be on your best box manners, and that's where Aiden's Warrior was tonight. He put himself in the race. And I talked about pre-racer Jay Thompson Masterclass tonight was a really strong hand of runners, and he's got a couple of Group 1s next to his name, which is no surprise on these big nights.
I just always love seeing Sophie Thompson in these photos, because some of us would dream of winning one of these Group 1s, and Sophie's found her way into about 10 of these photos. It's great to see. We need these young stars of the sport to get involved.
What about the trophy room? Like in hindsight, you go to the Butler trainers and they've got a trophy from winning a Grade 5 feature and that, and every week we rock up and Jay Thompson wins another Group 1 race and there's another cup on the mantle. Geez, he would have hundreds of trophies.
No, I don't think he does.
Well, what does he do with them? Send them to the owner?
I think he gives them to the owner. He's got
Okay.
Melbourne Cups and Phoenix. I think he restricts it to that, and Australian Cups.
So this one's one.
Probably still got 10.
Yeah, this. Yeah, so another one for the owners here. So this is another one that they would have got a few out of the Clover Park Racing with Andy Lord, the owners of this greyhound. So be another one for the lucky owners. But
Just
geez,
a
he
silky
wins.
coat there. He looks absolutely brilliant. Even after running 715 metres here tonight, he just looks like he'd go around again.
Yeah, he looks it's fair to say he's rock hard fit, but not blowing. For not a genuine strong 700 that runs through the line. He's a greyhound that's got, as we talked about, a ton of mid-race brilliance that really opens him up and lights him up through the early and middle sections. He's rock solid fit and runs out a good 700, and just a deserved winner for the dog. I think that's the most important thing. He just keeps buttering up in these big group races and is more than competitive, and you can't begrudge him taking home the first prize and the feature race tonight.
Deja vu. We've seen this vision before. And I was just looking as well. I mean, we speak about the other Group 1 winners tonight, Dewana Star and Secret Bandit, and how much they've got ahead of them. Aiden's Warrior turned 4 years of age a couple of weeks ago. So he's at veteran status, and he's picked up the most prestigious staying race on the calendar.
That's exactly what me and Mick talked about. You compare him to Power Squeeze, and Power Squeeze started favourite on jump time in that race. Now Power Squeeze is 2, so he's got 2 years difference between the kennel mate in Aiden's Warrior, and 56 starts difference between them as well. So if Power Squeeze can have the longevity to 4 years of age that Aiden's Warrior has, you'd be thinking there might be a few feature race wins in Power Squeeze going forward, and what he's been able to produce on his first trip down to Victoria in the last couple of weeks.
There's half of your head,